Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm just seeing I have pretty rubbish internet. How are you all doing? Hopefully, I'm coming through loud and clear. Um, Please do. This is show 48, believe it or not. It is the show before Expo. So, why don't we kick things off with say hello in the comments. And who is your hero? Who is your childhood hero? Or who was your hero now? Or who's your hero now? Um, One of mine actually passed away this week, which has led to this question. One of my heroes was Terry Venables, the Tottenham manager at the time when I was younger. Um, Great guy, lovely human being. I met him once and got completely tongue tied. I saw him walking towards me. I was working at Wembley Stadium as a 15-year-old steward. Saw him walking towards me, and my friend said, look, Teasy, there's Terry Venables. I had so much in my head I wanted to say to him, and then just stayed perfectly still. Morning, morning, Darren. How are you doing? Alan is here, and Pud is here. Chris is here. Good morning. Sorry if things are a bit slow. I think this might be my end, not yours. If your comments don't show up, Amit, hello. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Darren and Alan, are you going? Chris, I know you are going, my friend. Um, yes. Now, I'm glad Rob's going. Rob is going to be part of the Get Out of Rap team leader crew on the stand. So Rob is going to be there. Not bad. How are you? I'm good. I'm good. Pre-live nerves, always get them, and also pre-expo nerves. But nerves are a good thing, right? Show that you are alive. Yes. Danny is here. Morning, morning. Um, I did get told by a few people last week their comments weren't showing up on my feed. So please, can you, if that happens, just refresh LinkedIn and it should happen. Um, Darren, you won't make it, unfortunately. Well, stay tuned to my LinkedIn. I'll be spamming, I'll be spamming you all. And Alan, sadly, I'm not attending. Well, look, keep an eye out. We're going to be spamming LinkedIn. Jumble sale helper number 2. That's right. We are having a jumble sale approach to the expo. It should be a lot of fun. Barry is here. Morning, Barry, and well done to you and your team at the UK CCF Awards. And Barry looking thinner and more athletic all the time. Barry is running is it 60 kilometers, Barry? You'll have to let us know and share the link, actually get a few donations in. Jumble sale helper number 1 is here. Bev is here. Morning, morning. Now, come on, share who your heroes are. Let's get to know each other a little bit better. Who are your heroes? I'm going to be very sad and say my dad is always one, and then all the others are all football related. So I won't bore you with that. You can imagine where all of my heroes come from. But who are your heroes, or who were your heroes when you were growing up? Nick, good morning. Good morning, my friend. Darren is here. Morning, Darren. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks, mate. Shame I can't make it tomorrow. He's 60K in November for Movember. Barry is the same as me. My hero is my dad. Bev says hero was Ayrton Senna. What a driver. Hashtag forever. Oh, no, Chris. Come on. The legend that is Chris. Town mayor. He's mayor of his local town, everybody. You're my hero. Thank you, mate. You're mine too. So we've got Ayrton Senna, Barry with his dad. Who is your hero? Let's get to know each other a little bit better. This might be one that you definitely had growing up, but is there someone? Oh, good shout. Neville Southall, what a keeper. And Neville Southall definitely is on my side of my political leanings, Alan, as well. Danny, in sports, Kobe Bryant, what a shout. As long as what goes on in rap stays on rap. It's currently my youngest daughter. Don't tell my oldest. Lol. Well, listen, yeah, these are Vegas rules here, Darren. Don't worry, mate. And I love that. So let keep them coming. Who are your heroes? Come on, Nick. Um, Rob, have you given us yours? And come on, who hasn't? Amit. Let's hear from you, Darren. Other Darren. Uh, Alan says about Neville Southall. He's a great bloke. Met him a few times. Great bloke. Great keeper. Very, very good keeper. Don't make him like that anymore, do they? Going to sound like a grumpy old man there. So let's move on. And I want to start with, I'm sorry, but it's going to be an advertisement. These are some of the videos that I have been putting together and showing in the team leader community. Hope you like.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
You.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Eat shit.
If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Dumb.
So there is more helpful stuff in there. It isn't just that. Right, let's go back to the heroes that people had. Amit, David Goggins, what a human being he is. Do you run as much as him, Amit? When I meet you tomorrow, you're going to be running around the Excel. Robert De Niro wanted to be an actor, says Rob. What a great shout. Have you seen that advert that he's in at the moment, Rob? It's brilliant. Morning, Gordon. How you doing? Good to see you, mate. Here's Barry's link if you want to get involved and sponsor him. His tash is something else. Think Mexican bandit from an old western, and you are close. Thanks, Darren. Yeah, I enjoy making them. I really do. No chance, says Amit. Maybe just 100 press ups then, Amit. Yeah. Amanda, good morning. How are you doing? In his casual clothes. Rob, you're going to have to catch me up on that one. Good morning, Kate. How are you? It's good to see you. Okay, so we have Expo coming up. Don't worry. We will be getting to the question of the day as well to get you all involved. Hey, Aaron. Good morning, my friend. Good morning, mate. So that is coming. But we have the Expo coming up this tomorrow. Ooh. If you could, oh, you can actually see there's some boxes there. Everything around me is boxes. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't see my end who that is, but good morning. You'll have to say. I don't want to guess. I've got a good guess, but I don't want to guess. So down here is one of the boxes that I'll be taking to Expo. I haven't totally planned this through, if I'm honest, because I might need a few donkeys and mules to take me from the car park to, you know how big the XL is. It's enormous, isn't it? Now with the Expo in, hey Luca, how are you, my friend? Luca is a member of the team leader community. Great guy, adding loads of value in there. All good, Martin. Thanks for asking. Look forward to Caroline bringing back my hoodie from the Expo. Yeah, well, it might be in here. It might be in here. They're all bagged up. Guten Morgen. Ich habe eine Jacke gekauft. Believe it or not, I was born in Germany. My dad was in the Air Force, so yeah, I was. I lived there. I was born there, then moved back there when I was about 10. Lived there for 5 years. Played a lot of football there, so all of my German knowledge is around football. Good to hear. Right, the Expo. Please mark in your calendar, your diary, or you're going to see. Come and see me. Keynote Theatre, 11:45, day one. What do team leaders want? So in amongst all of the funny videos and things like that, we do have some serious topics, and I've asked the community to answer 5 questions. Um, and I will be sharing them at the expo. There might be dancing. The size of my head, I can't help, so it is big, and it will be interactive. So if you are going to the expo and you want something different, please do come along to to my talk, stroke dance, stroke stand up comedy. Um, it's going to be interesting to say the least. How gone did me? Yeah, it's not going bad. Um, team leaders want hoodies. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Thank you, Rob. Now, next, if you come and watch this one, um, this is like the warm up act. The main event on the keynote is going to be this panel. So I will be hosting, and I will be talking as little as possible. The reason being is there are going to be 3 experts on the stage. Yeah. Now you missed. Isn't he shorter in real life? Yeah. This is one of the expos I went to a couple of years that I felt like getting a T-shirt that says, "Yes, I am really this small." Um, Again, like the size of my head, nothing I can do about it. So these 3 superstars, Joe Garland, Danny Wareham, who's with us today, and Sandria Morgan, are the expert panelists, and they're going to be talking about cultivating commitment, building culture, retention, and development. This should be awesome. I can't wait to hear what these guys have got to say. Um, they will be sharing tips at the end as well about how you can do this. Such a critical topic in our industry. He's relatively quiet on keyboard today, but Danny is, of course, going to be there. Joe and Sandra, how good a lineup is that? Um, Amazing lineup. I'm front row. Good stuff, Rob. And last expo, there was a Teasdale lookalike. I wonder if he'll be back. Um, it's a doppelganger of mine that I send round. Rob, within throwing distance. That and Rob, just to be clear, that means Danny throwing things at you. So be warned. Be warned. Now, uh, then on day 2, a late addition to the Expo lineup. You don't have to wait until next week. Technology permitting, I'm going to do a Get Out of Rap LinkedIn Live. It's a special featuring Ian Piers and April from Centrical. April's coming over from the States. They're going to be talking about employee experience. We'll have some of these usual features. I'll be adding the event straight after this, actually. So even if you can't make the expo, I'm hoping that we're going to be able to do a version of this show live um, in the theatre. You can see there, if you're at the Excel, day 2, 2:45, we will be summing up the expo from the guys' experience, but also sharing some of their top tips, knowledge, and thoughts around employee experience. And there probably isn't anyone better. And we're also going to get a view from the US as well about some of the differences and similarities that we see when it comes to employee experience in the UK versus the US. Now, Rob, as long as he's purchased them, he can do whatever he wants with his hoodies. If that means throwing them at you, then I'm sorry, but you're going to have to take one for the team. Centrical are doing some exciting stuff, especially for people wanting to improve agent onboarding. That's very true. I'm really looking forward to this. Uh, is that main stage too? No, it's in the customer experience theatre, Raimondo. And finally, you'll be pleased to know, before we get to the question of the day, Rob and Bev and myself are manning a jumble sale type stand. Come and get your hoodie at the expo. you can see we've got Darren, my daughter Melly there, Becky Simpson, Jodine, Scott Williams, and Barry, all sporting their purchases. Come and get a hoodie. I really don't want to take this box back with me, but that isn't the only other box. There's some all the way over there as well. We are CCN54. You'll find it. That number means nothing. But yeah, come and find us. Look for the stand that looks out of place. But come and get a hoodie. If they all go, don't worry. We can order you one. And then you too can share a lovely picture of yourself with it on. So really looking forward to the expo. Flying by the seat of my pants as is my style. But there's going to be some great stuff. Also, Danny is talking. Bev is talking. Clayton is talking. Sandria is talking. Pete Dunn is talking. Have I missed anyone? There's loads and loads of great speakers. I think they've excelled themselves this year with the lineups. Selling out day one guaranteed. That's why Raymondo is our leader. She is motivational. The hoodies do look fly. Thank you very much, Amit. Come and get one. Come and get one. Now then, question of yeah, sorry. Chris is speaking. Not only is Chris speaking, the forum are doing something brand new and which will be excellent. They're doing workshops, so it's not just a come and listen, it's come and learn. I don't mind saying as well, I had no part behind the planning. I have no problem saying that one of the sessions is the same time as mine. I won't be offended if you go to the forums one. If I wasn't doing my talk, I would be at I would be at the forums one. Maybe you could flip between the two, but they're doing workshops. They both look really good. Day twos especially, or the afternoon ones on day one. So something really different, and that's the forum all over looking for new ways of doing things. So I'm right behind that, Chris. Sorry, I missed you out. Sounds noisy. Ah, yeah, Neris as well. How could we forget Neris? Neris, it's what a lineup. It's going to be brilliant. Should be a great 2 days for all attending. It will. Barry's going to be getting a pink one. Yes, you are, sir. You can carry that off. My workshop will be empty. I don't have hoodies. Yes, you do. Yes, you do, sir. It's definitely not going to be empty. It's going to be cracking. Right. Time to engage your brains. I need to do a little video for this. Let me make a note of that. Talk amongst yourselves. Video for question. Okay, so my question for you today is: do we need a new way of measuring customer satisfaction? And what are your thoughts on CSAT and NPS? Morning, Jordan. Congratulations to Jordan as well, everyone. Jordan not only passed his driving test, he also is going to be heading up a team at Gravity, which is for your company. If they want to do something fun and team building, Jordan is your man. So congratulations, Jordan. He's a superstar within the team leader community, a lovely bloke. You should definitely get in touch with him. So, do we need a new way of measuring customer satisfaction? What are your thoughts on CSAT and NPS? And I think the reason for this question is from our industry point of view, what are we doing with it? But also from a customer point of view, are they tired of this type of format? Is there a way that we can be doing it better? Do you know of people trying things a little bit different? Are there some people that are still using these methods, but they're absolutely nailing it? And if so, why do you think they are? Maybe you're going to say, actually, we don't need a new way of measuring customer satisfaction. It's fine, thanks, because it allows us to do comparison. But we haven't really seen a change in this for a long, long time. Do any of these things take into account customer effort? Do they take into account quality? Do they take into account employee experience? Are they too narrow, or are they still fit for purpose? What do you think? Let's get the old little pink banner going. Change the colours up a little bit. Congrats, Jordan, indeed. No problem, my friend. So, what do we think? Do we need to look at how we measure customer satisfaction? If you think about the read alongs that we've done, um, we have spent a lot of time on customer satisfaction, haven't we? Gordon says, got to be honest, NPS doesn't really reflect the customer service received and effort needed. Great point to kick us off. Um, I do like CES, says Danny, customer effort score. How hard are you to do business with? Nice, Danny. Ugh, huge topic. CSAT and NPS are fine as part of an overall strategy, and if the feedback is actioned, but consumers are a bit sick of the frequency, in my opinion. Yes, satisfaction, survey fatigue, right, Bev? Um, really important there. Stressing the it's part of something, and also if the feedback is action to critical areas that Bev calls out there. Darren says, I think CSAT customer surveys are useful, but only if you plan to actually do something with the output and feedback. Another one reiterating what Bev said there as well, Darren, thanks. Will we do any better with new metrics? Yeah, really good question. Maybe we should stick with these and get it right, and at least see an improvement, right? Uh, Kate says, 100%. I think we need to completely turn it on its head. Customers are a lot more review based now. I think we need to start looking at a completely new format that is more interactive. We should then use the feedback to be more proactive. Kate, this is really insightful stuff. Um, I'm naturally kind of drawn to that, trying to do something different, mix things up a bit, kind of shake it around. If we've got customers that are a bit fatigued from surveys, and we're not really, we are certainly NPS. Maybe you could argue, has it become a um, vanity metric if it's being used at all? So, Kate, I love that. Hey, David, how you doing? NPS is too often gamed, correct, to get high scores by companies, and the surveys are too often. Rob is agreeing with Darren. David, for me, focus should be more on resolution and quality. I agree. Hi, Richard. Is NPS still a thing? I assume Noah had this on the ark. Yeah, asking the animals. Um, I preferred CES, but wonder in this modern world if we're in need of something different. That's kind of where I'm going, and Kate would be right behind you on that one. NPS originally was a measure of your willingness to recommend, says Nick. This could be a measure of service experience. CSAT can be a measure of the whole customer experience, especially what happened to create the call, email, chat, and not just the customer service experience. Things have changed. Something new would be helpful. Um, Lovely summary there, Nick. Hello, Matt. Matt, it was great to see you at the X's. We need to catch up about your community as well. Please do, everyone, check out Matt's book as well. And he's been on the podcast. So, Matt says, I always like the service profit chain model that says customer satisfaction is just an intermediate measure. Oh, what? I don't know about the service profit chain model, Matt. Could you point us in the direction? Okay. Danny is name dropping and he's giving a warning. I was on a webinar with Fred Reicheld, the inventor of NPS, last week. Wow. Really interesting. I'll pick this name up for you. There you go. Really interesting, particularly his view that orgs generally misinterpret what NPS actually is. It's not a lagging measure, it's not about service. yet those are commonly suggested about the score. Fascinating stuff. And I imagine, Danny, we can still capture that. We can still watch that webinar back, right? Maybe you could share that. Um, Bev says Kate Black on point, and I agree. Amit says the modern day CSAT measurements are focused very much on prioritizing the speed with which feedback is collected. If anything, I would do measurements over a period of time after the service, not just immediately after. That has been our experience in my company, Nomax, over the past 20 years. Very interesting, Amit, around the timing of it. Alan says many people spend far too much time telling people how great their operation is. Customers telling you where to improve and how tricky it is to get an outcome is gold. Action the feedback and use it to move both the business and operation you manage forward. Alan, so true. And a theme coming through around the action, action, action. I knew it. I knew it. If we should play Get Out of Rap, we should play this bingo, because one of the things that is always going to come up is Rob and Bananarama syndrome. It ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it. That gets results. So, Rob, I love it. It's not a show now unless that comes up. Um, and this one as well, Matt Smallman sounds like happy bees make tasty honey. That's another one. If any of you are playing bingo today, you're close to a full house. Um, Richard says if you use the logic that customers only call chat contact when something isn't right, maybe the answer is in right first time. Really good. I really like that. And I think that it's that type of thinking, Richard, that we need around what are we actually doing with this? Great. Danny is sharing the webinar that he did with Fred Reicheld, the inventor of NPS, no less. So let's check that out. Rob says you can use any measure to drive improvements, as with anything. If not used correctly, it doesn't matter what you measure or how. What action do you take? So true. Darren says, agree, there should be check ins through the customer life cycle. Just surveying once at the beginning of a customer journey or single point in time, you won't get an accurate measure of how they really rate your company overall. It's really true. Couldn't really copy in, but service profit change suggests internal service quality drives employee satisfaction, which impacts retention and productivity. These then drive external service value. Did you actually achieve the customer ask? Which impacts satisfaction and therefore loyalty. You should measure these, but things you can really impact are internal service quality. How easy you make it for your employees to get stuff done. Matt, thank you so much. I say it every week, but one of the reasons I love doing this is my main source of learning, as well as the team leader community, where there's some people sharing great stuff in there. But Matt, thanks so much. This is brilliant. That kind that now I can see this the chain, right? That getting it, making it easy for your employees to get stuff done. I love it. Happy processes equal happy employees equal happy customers equal happy shareholders. And then if we get that right, then does it follow then, Danny, that how we measure it should reflect that and its component parts, or would you want to stick with what we currently have? It's interesting, isn't it? Because when we talk about doing new things, it's kind of like there is, yes, you've got people that invent things, but the guy that Danny shared a webinar with did it. Why can't we? Why can't one of us come up with something new, something that's a bit more modern? Thanks, Danny. Far better. Or Fergan. As hashtag happy processes make happy shareholders. Rob loves a hashtag. I love it. So some really, really insightful stuff here. I've got a follow-up question actually, which is when was the last time you did any form of customer satisfaction survey yourself as a customer. Um, Thanks, Darren. Great discussion as always. I have to shoot to jump on a call with a recruiter. See some of you tomorrow at the Expo. Yes, see you there. Darren is looking for director of customer experience, head of customer experience. Absolutely great guy, knowledgeable, skillful, super chap. We need to get him and many others back into our industry working. So good luck, mate. Kate says, does anyone ever survey the agents about their interactions with the customers? Oh, what a question, Kate. What a question. That's great. Excuse me. If anyone is watching that does this or knows of anyone that does, um, I'd love to hear the answer to that because that is a cracker. Um, Danny says, my personal view is that you focus on the inputs. Are your processes suitable? People knowledgeable, passionate, and understand their contribution? Marketing STP correctly. If you get those foundations right, the rest is so much easier. Unfortunately, we're often running too fast to justify time on those foundations. So true. So true, Danny. And I am with Bev on this one. A pint of what Kate is drinking. Kate is smashing it out the park today. Um, Surveying the agents about their interactions with customers. If you're not doing it, then thanks to Kate, you've got a great idea today for your contact center. Kate, I will be taking that into the team leader community. That is a cracker. What kind of things could we ask them? What are some of the things that we'd like to get from that? And I'm looking at you, Kate. As always, and Darren's spot on. Great discussion. We know, don't we? We've got a lot to do here. Richard says, great question. I've always MPS TMs about their leaders and agents about their TMs. Nice, Richard. Rob, we tested agent surveys in real time back in my Sabio years as part of an exercise to overlay agent satisfaction versus CSAT to see what the impact it has. Yes, Rob, so true. And I know you guys did some great work. I'm thinking Kate's point, though, is really around the actual interactions rather than their satisfaction. But here's a suggestion. How hard was it to get that done for your customer? So what did the customer want? How hard was it to get that done for your customer? You could come up and find out some really interesting stuff. And as long as you are playing that back, then there's the added benefit of agents knowing that their view is really important. I just figure that they're on the front line. So they know the temperature of the customer. They know what the pain points are, and if the processes allow them to do what is needed. And it's probably as an informed view of customer satisfaction as asking customers themselves, right? Um, Especially if you have a group of emotionally intelligent frontline team members who are empathetic. I think you can absolutely mine some gold there. Kate wins today, closely followed by everyone else. So we are now going to do one of your favorite bits. It's been a couple of weeks, hasn't it? So just as a reminder, we are doing a that's right. It's the read along. It's the CX Decision Makers Guide. We will be through this in no time at all. I've been in touch with Steve Morell from Contact Babel. Babel. We will be doing a podcast to coincide with the launch of the 2024 Decision Makers Guide. And then we can start doing the read along of that in the new year. But he's going to come on Get Out a Wrap and share some early thoughts. We can go behind the scenes with him. I know he really values this part of the show. So, without further ado, hold on one second. Matt, let me just. I think the really interesting ones are the disconnects between agent and customer satisfaction and effort. Very, very true, Matt. Asking agents is also an exceptional way to demonstrate how important they are. So true. Danny says, with my psychologist head on, it's tough to get objective information from surveys like this, agent or customer. With over 170 recognized cognitive biases that get in the way of that data as standalone information. Um, I think I probably flipped through all 170 in a day. So I'm with you in that. Now, the read along. Here we go. So we are starting with customers were asked. Um, Here we go. The general view across the customer survey is that they hit roadblocks fairly often. Now, this breaks down the roadblocks that customers, if you remember, there was 1,000 customers surveyed, as well as the 296 CX leaders. So, by far, the one that reported very often the most was the queue time is too long. Then we had there were too many options on the phone menu, followed by the person answering can't help and passes me to someone else. I'm only calling as I couldn't solve my issue online. I can't hear clearly, and or I have to repeat myself. I mean, how is that still happening with the technology and the providers we have out there? I have to call back multiple times and explain the issue again. I'm asked too many security questions. The one for you there, Matt. Um, so when you look at this and you see that the list of customer issues displayed like this, I don't know about you. Um, as an optimist, I think great, we can deal with all of those. But then I think surely we should have done this by now. Um, have I traveled back to 2010? Says Rob. Yes, I have invented a time machine. Um, is this the customer saying this, or CX ladies claiming what they think? This is the customer saying this, Danny. This is a section from the 1,000 customer survey. Queue time and upsell messages. Arrgh! I'm with you, Mark, on that one. Ray, I swear to God, reduce, remove IVR, and your whatever they are scores will improve. And I know, Raimondo, your first-hand experience, which you've shared with us around your utility provider, boom, you straight through, right? But yes, is this 2010? Queue time is too long. Too many options on the phone menu. I mean, we have a way. Here is a list of ways that we can improve the public perception, and then you'd like to think the customer satisfaction scores right across the industry. This is our list. Looking at this is classic Maslow. The base hygiene factors need to be met first, says Danny. Does stuff just do what it's supposed to? Is there someone to help me? That's right. If we just removed all of this, naturally would see a massive uplift instantly on perception and how that's reflected in customer satisfaction scores that are then replayed over and over in the media. Um, our customers so used to these issues they just keep calling them out. I guess you could refer to Danny's biases on that, right? Which is, I know that there's been a study done around queue times and people overestimate their queue time, probably because they think it's going to be longer. They've been told queue times are a problem. Then when they sit in a 20-second one, if you ask them afterwards how long it was, they will say it was a minute. I've lost count of how many times over Sunday lunch the father-in-law has moaned about IVR. He is the litmus test. He definitely is. That's probably, we're talking about new customer satisfaction measures. Maybe it's Bev's father-in-law test. If we can get Bev's father-in-law behind the industry, then we know we are doing something well. If we can get that, I'm not going to say his name. You know who he is. He's my canine co-host. Is telling me it's getting close to the end. It's so annoying. Um, Matt says there is inevitably recency bias of poor experience. All of these are solved problems, but organizational incentives aren't actually aligned to solve them. So true. If these issues were removed, we'd start to see more social things pop up. Advisor wasn't friendly. Oh yeah, then the next level of Maslow, right? Um, Richard says, I'd be interested to see a breakdown comparison of in-house center versus outsourced and how this looks as separate tables. Yeah, so that would be a nice, interesting view. The next one isn't that, so they don't really, but that data is available, I guess, isn't it? Which would be interesting. Maybe that's one for a future day, uh, Richard. Now, Matt says queue times are only really an issue if expectations aren't appropriately managed and met. The the Brian factor. I think we should all be adopting the Brian factor. If we can get Brian on side, then we're good. Now, the next one was around first call resolution. So I have to call back multiple times and explain the issue from the beginning. And they've split this by age. So you can see that on average, the average across all age groups is 19% report that very often they have to do this, 37% say fairly often, uh, infrequently 35%, 9% never. Um, there aren't too many differences there. I'm surprised that the ones that report that they have to call back multiple times more than the other age ranges are the younger generation, 16 to 24 and 25 to 34. Again, this is from the 1,000 customers that were surveyed. That probably goes against what you would expect. You'd probably expect the older age group would be those more likely to be saying that they have to ring back more often. um, I wouldn't say necessarily it's moaning. Maybe it's what we don't know is the nature of the queries, how it's been explained to the advisor, what they're calling about. Maybe the younger age group are calling back about more complex things. I don't know. What do you think? Um, Rob agrees with Matt. I don't mind queuing if I get the result I want. So true. So, customer age doesn't seem to be a significant factor, which means the issue is on our side. That's good. It means it's in our control. Very true. Younger generation more likely to expect instant gratification. Yeah, could be that, Rob, couldn't it? It really could. Now, this one I think you'll find interesting. Will this meet your expectations around our industry's first call resolution charted from 2004 to 2023? So in 2004, 74% of all contacts were seen as being resolved first time. Let me just check if there's any other info here. FCR was actually declining slightly until recently. As the easier interactions go to self-service, especially online, the contact center is left with more difficult and varied tasks through email as well as phone, which can also be very complicated to categorize effectively using the current tools available to most. It's too early to say whether the recent improvement is a definite trend. As the contact center adapts and invests in better ways of handling customer requests, first call resolution rate increases and parity resumes. The exodus of easy work to self-service channels may not be quite balanced by immediate balancing improvements in knowledge sharing and other agent support processes that would mean stable first call resolution rates. Um, so, from an all-time low in 2019 of 72%, we've seen an increase over the last 4 years back up to 80% that was last seen in 2006, 2007. All that investment over the last 20 years has paid off. Eye roll emoji. First call, does that mean not including other contact channel types? No, this does include other channel types, albeit it does call out that it is still a bit more difficult to analyze. So don't make any sweeping judgments based on it. Depends if this is reflecting first call or first contact. It said it's complicated to categorize, but it does say, hold on. This is contact. No, this is call. This is call. With my statistician head on, I'm not sure any of this variation is really significant. So much has changed in what underlies this data in the period. Very insightful, Matt. COVID forced the use of better tech done properly. Could well be, Rob, couldn't it? Now then, how do we measure? Richard says, if you apply a linear line to the data, it's pretty much a straight line. Yeah, to Matt's point, isn't it? Now, finally, the use and effectiveness of first contact resolution measurement methods. So, QA monitoring is seen as the most useful, which I find really interesting. With my old QA hat on, I find that strange. Agent asked whether customer query has been answered fully. Did you do it? Yeah, great. Agent call disposition codes. No repeat calls from a customer in a specific time frame. Post call IVR survey. Automated interaction analytics. This is mind boggling. There's got to be a better way. Agent asks whether customer query has been answered fully. And I have. Is there anything else I can help you with today? No, that's fine. Thanks. Done. Surely that is agent call disposition code. QA monitoring. I'm shaking my head because surely it's got to be interaction analytics. There's got to be a way that doesn't rely on any of these things to tell whether that we have done it or not. It just should run in the background. We're not doing it properly, says Rob. So we recognize that people make mistakes, and our biggest influencer of getting it right is our people. But we also tend to underinvest in people compared to tech and processes. So true. Such a key measure. And I mean, anyone that's ever ran a team that has to, everyone, kind of outcome a call, right? You know, when you do an accuracy check, that it isn't accurate, that people just kind of fall into habits, and you're having to do reminders constantly about outcoming things correctly. And also you've got so many different variations and different people's interpretations of those variations, and then new people joining that get told one way and then get to do it another way. Disposition codes, nice kind of pulse check, rule of thumb, how are we doing, group them all together. But for something that we place so much importance on, there's got to be a better way. Yes. Take away the simple queries with tech, process, self-serve, leaving more complex stuff, but then don't evolve our people strategy. It's a recipe for a straight line on your first call resolution. So true. Kate, should we be looking at a second layer of CS that more complicated cases can be escalated to, and use that more like an account management team? They can take ownership of the more complicated issues and call the customers with updates, reducing the need for customers to call back in, thus reducing calls into the CS team and reducing queue times. Should make the customers feel more heard and valued. That's so true. And I think, you know, your background is one that lends itself to this application of kind of tiered response teams, right? So first line, second line, and that kind of thing. So I've seen this being done. I think it works well where it doesn't become an unnecessary layer where contacts are like tennis balls between the two teams. Then I think this is you. No, it's you. Again, to the point that's been made quite often today, it's the processes that are important, isn't it? Post school survey. Did you get a resolution? Great if you action it when the answer is no. Analytics all the way for the best option. So true. Kate, we implemented something like that a decade ago for a large bank, but it was really hard. Um, we should all make use of our community here and connect and follow on conversations. You won't be surprised to know my next job after this is to go and walk HUGO. Um, it has been a pleasure as always. I do hope I get to see you at the expo. Um, Let me just quickly catch the lack of empathy from call center staff. Customers appreciate empathy and understanding, says Mark, when dealing with their issues. Complaints may arise if representatives come across as uninterested or fail to acknowledge the customer's concerns. Right. Thank you all so much for today. On to the expo. So many great speakers, so many interesting people and companies there. If you're there, please do come and say hello. Um, if you're not, you're going to get spammed. So please do come over and say hello. Matt, did you ever find out what happened with Dan Pace at Merrill with the episode of the Goose? Oh, what a great place to end. That is a story for another day, my friend. It's good to see you on here. Uh, so I will see you. I'm sure the pleasure is ours. Unfortunately, I can't be there tomorrow, but I put my order in for a hoodie with Gary. Make sure you do. That's great, Jordan. We will see you soon. Thanks, Martin. Really enjoyed it. I may not be there tomorrow, but I've told them about your keynote. Okay, don't worry. Thank you all very much for coming. The goose story is for another day.